Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to the Jesse James Beads Polynesian party. My name is Nealay Patel. I am a designer for Jesse James Beads, and I am so excited to be here. We are going to wait a few minutes for people to come in and join us, and I'm actually going to turn up the music, maybe dance a little, and I'm going to actually share this live video as we're waiting. So let me do this. Got my drink with me too. I made myself a nice little Mai Tai for this party. Oh, so refreshing. All right, let's do some sharing, because you know what? Sharing is caring. Let me know if you can hear me well. We got Maureen joined in. Hello, Maureen. Sarah's here. Hello. Let's see. All right, I need to figure out where to share this. Who else have we got? Emily. Emily's here. Hello. Oh, I like this music. It's very chill. Hello from Ohio. Well, hello from Oklahoma. All right. It's so funny. I could see myself. I'm actually going to like it. So sharing this to... I'm going to share this to my page. If you are not familiar with my endeavors, I am actually the guy who came up with beads and bubbles. I'll hold up a sign for that just in case you need the link. Like, no, let's party. That's going to be my tag for this. Post. Oh, quite a few people are in here. I shared it to the Softflex company. Thank you, Sarah. Appreciate that. I got some sweet designs using Softflex where I'm so excited to show you. I have a whole thing planned, actually. All right, so let me share it to my personal page now. All right. I need to post as Nealay Patel. And on my own timeline. Let's... Ooh. All right. We got quite a bit of people showing up here. Let's see. Does everyone have a drink, at least, for this party? I hope you find this festive. I really took some time out to decorate. All right. Oh, hi, Sarah. She's in too from Jesse James Beads. My friends from there. You look amazed. Thank you. I wanted to dress the part. All right. So I'm going to turn this down a little bit. I have a whole show for this planned because I received this wonderful package of Polynesian inspired beads from Jesse James Beads, and I thought, why not theme this little party up into a whole collection of designs that I wanted to share with you guys, and I'll explain some tips and tricks along the way of each of those designs. I use several materials outside of the Jesse James beads, but predominantly, of course, the beads, and how you guys can make it at home yourselves. For those of you who are unfamiliar with Polynesian themed design, I did put together a couple of show materials here to kind of explain. Let me put my umbrella drink aside. So I put together this little mood board that kind of explains what Polynesian design is, and you know, location-wise, Polynesia is a vast string of islands in the Pacific Ocean, which includes Hawaii, New Zealand, the Easter Islands, Tonga, and French Polynesia. So what you're going to be seeing throughout this collection is a lot of design inspired by flowers. You got the tribal elements in there, sort of a wood-carved geometric design. Of course, you're familiar with the tikis and that sort of style. There's a lot of island influence as well, and so, you know, think beaches, sand, sea, tropical, you know, anything that you would find Hawaiian is right up this particular looks and design aspect, aesthetic, as well as the colorful clothing, which I really like too. Obviously I'm wearing something that's very flowery, so this was sort of my inspiration for achieving this collection that I'm going to show you. How do we know that this design is prevalent in the trend right now? Well, it's funny because I was at my day job. I'm a graphic designer by day trade, and we subscribed to several magazines, and we got this issue of GQ, which I was like, okay, if it's on GQ, it's got to be popular, right? And this is this month's July's issue, which is so great because this is perfect time to do this. But I just thought he looked great in his Polynesian design. I want to kind of do that too. He's actually got a turquoise necklace on too, which I thought was awesome. I didn't get a chance to make myself one yet. The summer is not over yet though, so we'll see what happens. We have a few games for those of you guys that are just now coming into this as well. We're going to do a few games. We're going to play one thing. I did not name any of the designs in this collection, okay? Because I wanted to open the floor up to you guys. And so I'll read back through the comments after this video is over. Nealay, you are GQ. Well, thank you. Trying. I'm gonna leave the naming up to you guys. So 15 pieces. We'll go through each one of them, and I'll look through the comments, and I'm gonna pick out my favorite name and post pictures later. But for now, I know I have. Oh, look at all these! Look at all these beads! Oh my goodness! So each of these have. Well, we're not gonna count that one. Both of these. Okay, I haven't counted how many beads are in here, so we're gonna play a little game. I haven't counted them, and I want you guys to throw out a number in the comments feed, and I'm going to look back on it later and pick a winner to see how many is in pink mix and how many is in blue mix, okay? So think on that. There's quite a bit. I'm going to hold each one of these. How many do you think are in there? I will be counting this each by hand after the show, and I'll post the actual number later, okay? So I'm going to put that right back here. And I think we're going to do some giveaways too. And we're going to pick a random winner from the comments feed. Hi Jan, it's good to see you. I'm glad my peeps from Oklahoma are tuning in too. We're going to do some random giveaways, so leave a comment on the feed of what your favorite design is and what your least favorite is. And we really need to know what you loved about this collection, what you liked about the beads, but we also need to know what you didn't like, okay? So that we're trying to improve our style and our aesthetic and really get something that's gonna go and work well for you guys, okay? So the good, the bad, the ugly, everything. We want to know everything. Okay, now without further delay, let's get this party rolling with the collection. Okay. It's hard to pick. I've got all these designs here and I gotta, show the first one. So I'm also going to show you on the website where you can find these particular designs, but check this out, guys. Okay, this is the, let's see, I have their website open. If you check out the Jesse James Beads website, jessejamesbeads.com, and if you hit up the collections part of the website and check the Polynesian bead party, you're going to find all of the materials that I have used in my designs on the website, okay? And so this one is the teal and gold triangle beaded pendant, $7.99 retail, that's on there. But look what I did with it. I combined it with a chain that they have as well. The chain that I used for the bottom part, I believe came from another mix. And Sarah, you can kind of chime in and let our audience know which exactly, but the one that I love is the one up here. And this is the teal enamel dangle chain, which is also $7.99 for the pack. But oh, I love the color blocking. Isn't that just awesome? So I love how we could just throw this on a chain and be out the door and onto a Polynesian party, right? I don't have a name for this. You guys name it for me. Okay. What's the next one? Ooh, we're gonna jump into some soft flex design. So I have this bracelet here. There we go. Okay, isn't that fun? It moves around, the beads move around as you move around. So I think it's a really fun design. And this particular mix I combined from a couple different ones. So if you check out the Bora Bora bead strand, as well as the Bora Bora Blue Design Inspirations large bead package mix, you can find all of these particular beads in there. And actually the green ones I think came from the Hibiscus Flower large bead mix, which is $11.99 on the website. But bead tip right here. So this particular component, which are in one of those mixes, it is a large filigree teardrop, but all I did was just pass through the filigree with the soft flex wire. I cut maybe about, I don't know, maybe 8 inches or so, and I just went through each one of those, looped them into a crimp and just crimped it. And I just did that like 9 times to really get this design. Stringing a bead each time, but it just is a fun little, you know, I love this design so much. Okay. So again, don't have a name for this, so y'all come up with some names for me for this. Kind of like ocean waves almost, isn't it? I don't know, just making up stuff. Okay, and don't forget, it's important to take a drink to hydrate. Yes, ma'am. All right, we got some earrings. Let's check out some of these earrings. Okay, check these out. Now these just came from one of the mixes that I just named. You could really, now the great thing about these mixes is they do pairs for each of their components and beads, and so you have a ton of opportunities to make a ton of earrings. And I use this tribal component bead along with their tassels because tassels are really hot right now. They've been out on the fashion scene for about a year or so. I've seen them everywhere, all the way from, you know, simple retail to the high end. And it's just easy to wear, easy to throw on. But all I did was just use a pair of chain nose pliers to make this triangle out of half hard wire, and I believe this is 20. No, it's 18 gauge. Yeah, I believe it is 18 gauge, and I just made a triangle component and then used a simple loop there at the end to create that, and then down here as well, and just connected it all together. So pretty simple, but I love these little shapes because they kind of are reminiscent to the tribal tattoos, especially what we saw on the mood board too. So I kind of dig them. All right. So let's hop back into a necklace. Okay, I love this one because it's really different. All right, check this out. It is a long style necklace, and I'm using their rhinestone chain. So I'm going to show you a couple ways to wear this, but I wanted to bring some focus to the bottom part here. Now this is the abalone shell that is, I believe, the kaleidoscopic abalone C pendant for $5.99, and then these little beads came from the hibiscus mix. Let's see, it was the hibiscus flower design element small bead mix for $8.99. Super easy, and let me tell you why. I used, for the chain, I used silver silk end caps to kind of finish off the end, and then I just connected it with a bunch of little wire loops, and especially there at the end. And I just thought it was a really, like, I don't know, kind of a classy upscale way, because I know some design doesn't have to be over the top, it could be a little minimal. I'm trying to find the chain. It's a jet black cup chain that's on the Polynesian party bead area on the website. But I love this. Okay, here's why. You can you could wear it kind of like a scarf if you like did it twice, you know? Could be like a really cool choker and just kind of, well, the flowers are getting in the way, sorry. So you could just kind of let it hang. I thought it was kind of neat to do that. You could, of course, tie it in a knot as a lariat sort of piece, or you could just let it dangle at the bottom as a long kind of a scarf look. But I love how versatile it is, and it's great. I think the length is great, especially for modern design. Since not everything tends to be up here anymore, it seems to have gone to the longer necklaces trend. So Christian says, hi, hello Christian, it's good to see you on here. You're never late to the party. The party is always on where Nealay is, trust me. I'm one crazy, crazy guy. Alright, so I don't have a name for this. I kind of want the word midnight in it, but maybe that's just me, I don't know. Y'all think on it, and can we see a close-up? Of course! There we go. There we go. Think on the names, there's a cup chain, and here's how I connected it. The cool thing about those silver silk end caps, you can find the end caps on silversilkonline.com. And this happens to be the single strand end cap, and all you do is just squeeze it right over the cup chain, and it holds pretty well. There's actually teeth inside of there that really grasp onto it, so you don't have to do a whole lot of work at all, but gosh, I really love this one. Okay. What do we want to look at next? Let's see. Oh, okay. Let's get into some little bit of wire work here. I've got this really cool bracelet. Let me show you, let me wear it. Okay, it's made out of wire and a bunch of random beads that I had left over at the end, actually. So if you all have a bunch of leftover beads, this is a perfect opportunity to use them up for this style bracelet. So let me break it down for you. But let me hydrate, okay? Let me hydrate. So good. Are y'all guessing how many beads are in the pink and the blue mix? We have a game. Don't forget about the game. We got a game here. We got to guess how many beads are in the blue mix and how many are in the pink mix. And we're going to give away some beads for the people who guess it right, for the winner who gets it right. It's got to be an exact number. I haven't even counted them, so I don't really even know. Hydrate, break. Exactly, Deb. Exactly. All right. So this is structured by a piece of wire. This is 16 gauge copper wire. And all I did was just make a simple loop at the end, and then I hammered it to get the shape. And the reason I hammered it is because I'm trying to strengthen it so that it doesn't bend out of shape. And it did take my round wire to a flat, but I kind of like that better, to be honest, for this particular design. You could even just go all the way around and then hide the overlapping wires inside of this wire wrapped part. But I decided to split it up because it was, to me, a little bit more designery that way. But I wanted to bring attention to the materials that I used, because what I used is the fabric chain. This is the pink yarrow fiber chain for $6.99 on the website for jessiejamesbeads.com. And here's what the chain looks like in its non-wire wrapped form. It's pretty fun. In fact, you know what? I could have wore this today, actually, if it were long enough. I used it all up, though. Pretty cool chain, though, I must say. I've never really seen fiber chain a whole lot, but this stuff is pretty awesome. And when I cut it, it hasn't frayed or anything either, so that's even better. So let's see. What I did was I took a 26 gauge piece of wire. It's very thin. And all I did was I just started to wire wrap that particular chain, the pink yarrow fiber chain, and a bunch of random beads. And I just kind of strung it around all over, all the way to the end. And so there's no rhyme or reason to, you know, that sort of style. And I love how, I don't know, organic it looks. I think it's just a really cool, easy piece to design. So is just in pink? Yeah, I made just one in pink, but I do have all those beads back there, so I could probably do another color too, I bet. And so, yeah, that's kind of this one in a nutshell. If you guys have a name for this one, let me know. Let's hop into some earrings. I have a really fun pair here. Let me grab it on the form. Okay. Check this out. What do you think about this one? Love it? Hate it? I kind of combined a few different things here. These beads are from the, let's see if I can find it, this particular mix. Maybe Sarah might beat me to it because she knows her beads better than I do. The hibiscus flower large bead mix. Oh, and I believe these little petals came from that too, if I'm not mistaken. No, I am mistaken. They came from the Bora Bora Blue design mix. You see, the thing about it is that they have all these different mixes. So you can buy one pack and you get a lot of earrings or designs out of it, but you can combine them, which is what I did, and get a lot of new styles from it. You'll notice that in the mix, these earrings do not have the gold in them. So I'm going to explain what I did. But I love this tassel. It looks so different from anything I've ever seen before. It's very flowery, very Polynesian design inspired. I really like these earrings, but I want to know what you guys think. But to get this gold tip, I actually used vintage gold paint, and I just dabbed the edge because I wanted something a little extra, a little something in there to really tie in the gold that I'm using. And I actually did the same to the top of that tassel. The silver did not go with my gold style that I have for these earrings, so all I did was just use vintage paint. And actually, let me see if I can grab some. I put it down here. So it looks like this, and you just grab a small brush. I'm sorry for that glare. See, there we go. You just grab a small brush and just kind of dab it on the ends, and you get this lovely new effect for these earrings. Very textury. I think that's about it that I want to explain to these. Don't have a title for them, and floor's wide open, so I'd love to hear some names. Jan Rogers says, love vintage. I love them too. Their product quality is just outstanding and so easy to use, and they have a lot of tutorials online for those who really don't, like me, don't know what they're doing, because, you know, I make up stuff half the time. But it works out pretty well, so. Alrighty, let's jump into another necklace. Alright, let me take these off the form. Guys, I have a gorgeous necklace here. It is gorgeous because you already all have seen it. Bam! Look at this. Look at the different chains. Look at the different colors. Oh my gosh, and those tassels. I am so excited about this. Let me take a hydration break. That is refreshing every single time I have sipped it, I promise you. Okay, so we are familiar with this chain because we have talked about it already, my friends. It is the pink Yarrow fiber cord chain. And then, guess what I have? It is let's see if I can find it. This is the other chain. This is a turquoise chain that's on there. Let me scroll to, the Mermaid Lynx teal chain. You get 1 foot for $2. Are you kidding me? Whoa, that must be on sale. Wow, I just now saw that. That is incredible. I might buy some more after this. But, I love this chain. It could do so much with it. Jesse James Beads Softflex Company asks, does that chain only come in pink? This one right here. You know what? That's a good question, Sarah. And Sarah, James can answer to that. She might have some colors and some other of the other mixes available. But check this out. Okay, so I'm going to break this down for you, starting with the back. Now, I just combined a couple jump rings and combined the clasp, or attached the clasp to it. Same thing down here. I actually opened up a link with a pair of, I use nylon jaw pliers. The reason for that is that this coating does scratch off whenever I use my chain nose pliers, and I have ruined one link through experimenting. So I decided to change up my pliers into a nylon jaw plier and open them up. Slip the little link in, and we're all good. So don't do what I did and use the chain nose pliers. Okay. Here's the trick though. Here's the trick to this one. So I looped the Softflex wire, and this particular color to go with my design is turquoise. It's a turquoise 19 diameter beading wire that you can get at Softflex. And I believe, Sarah, James, you can vouch for this, that you guys will be carrying Softflex wire, correct? So that's a question that I have for you. But I looped it around twice. I made the interior loop smaller and put a bead on it, and then they all go to the same crimp, and all I did was just crimp it. So loop it around twice, crimp it, and you're done. Of course, the tassel is on the bottom link, but you do this to all the links, and man, you get a design so quickly. I absolutely love this design. I might wear it on a night out. Who knows what'll happen? Especially if I keep up with this Mai Tai. But goodness me, I don't have a title for this, so I need your help. I need your help coming up with a title for that. Okay, what do we have next? Ooh, I have a bracelet. You guys got to check this out. Okay, this is an easy bracelet, but here's the part that I have done differently for it. Now, from what you saw on my mood board, let me pick it up again. If you'll pan over to this photo right here, you can see this picture of a gorgeous island in this little cabana hut that I wish I could just, you know, blink my eyes and be there. But you know what, maybe this is as good as it gets for me, and I'm not complaining. But this little bracelet is sort of inspired by the sand and sea, so I've color blocked it, okay? And color blocking just means that I have chosen to do one side in the sand colors and the other in the sea colors. I thought that was just really fun, really different. I like how it shines on one side and then the other you get a completely different effect altogether for this particular design. But these beads came from, I believe, a couple strands. The Bora Bora blue bead strand, you could check it out there. And then the other miscellaneous beads came from the various mixes. I believe I used a bead from the hibiscus flower bead strand. And let's see. I also used some from the macadamia nut inspired large bead mix. There's a lot of browns in there that I think is perfect for this. Sort of woody, sandy, nutty color scheme. So I just thought it was really fun. And all I did was just use wire loops to connect them. So again, this is one of those designs that you could just do with a bunch of leftover beads that you have left over. So love that design. Okay, hydration break. My umbrella is getting in the way of my drink. This is a problem. Let's jump into a pair of earrings. Okay, I love these earrings because these are so different from anything that I've ever done or seen before. But guys, check that out. How awesome is that? Isn't that just fun? Like, you could totally just wear that, and it's flower inspired. But let me explain first where the components came from, because I'm using charms that were from a different mix. These charms were from the I believe they came from the blue mix. Maybe the Bora Bora blue mini mix, I think is where they came from. And then the bead caps, they might have come, no, they came from a mix too, and now I can't remember for the life of me. What I did was I was so excited. I was so excited that I dumped everything out and didn't even think about organizing which beads go where. I believe they came from a strand though. Maybe the Bora Bora blue strand? I'm not sure. Maybe the blue bead strand. But to explain the mechanics, I'm using also some silver silk, and all I did was I just cut a piece of wire that was about 6 inches or so, and I made a simple loop on one end of that 6-inch wire, and I connected my little link to it, my crystal link, and then I put a bead cap backwards in, which creates this front part, and then with the the silver silk, with the silver silk, I just layered it kind of on top of itself to create this flower petal effect onto that wire. And you do that for about, like, I used probably about 12 inches of the soft flex, I'm gonna get those mixed up again. The silver silk, good thing they're both my friends, right? I used about 12 inches of the silver silk to create the petals that I just overlapped. And then all I did was just put another bead cap in backwards, and then I basically bent the wire straight up. And that gave me my really cool flower earring idea. And I just thought these were really different from anything that I've created or made. And I think they're perfect for a really festive attire or a festive party like this one. So Anyways, don't have a name for these, but the word flower does, or at least the flower theme does bring a lot to the imagination, so check it out. Name it, love it, or don't love it, I don't know. We want your opinions. We want your honest opinions. If you don't love something, let us know. Let's see. All right, moving on to the next design. Let's see, I showed you a necklace, a bracelet, and a pair of earrings, so we're back to a necklace, right? All right. Okay, getting my form here ready for the runway. Now this one is great because it's an eclectic mix of different components and pieces to make this particular one. And this one came from very different mixes that I put together. So check it out. I think that this one is really cool. And I don't have a title for it, otherwise I would do a formal introduction. But it's, again, very eclectic and very beachy, okay? And so the centerpiece came from, let's see. The centerpiece is the Bora Bora black choker. And although you could wear that choker that is on the website, I love to take things apart and refurbish them into my own aesthetic and design, and you guys can do that too. That is the beauty of what this business does, is that they really leave the inspiration and creativity right up to you guys. So I took it apart, and what I did was, if you can check it out real closely, all I did was take that wire and I made loops all around. I made 5 loops, kind of bent it in a U shape, and then I just connected it with some jump rings. I hope everyone can see that. It's a little bit hard to see, but I think you guys can get that. And this particular chain that I'm pointing to is called the black enamel chain, similar to the turquoise one that I showed you earlier in the collection. And I just connected that. And then of course these little decorative beads came from the hibiscus mix and the hibiscus flower design elements small pack. So I'm combining the big and the small pack together. This one came from the big pack as well. Now I want to bring your attention to this component because I did make that. Okay, if you check that out, it is a I guess sort of a formed flower that's, I think, made out of clay. And all I did was just stick a piece of wire through, made a simple loop on each side, and then I just attached a few of the beads to them from the smaller mix. So it just really kind of brought a black flower to life, essentially. But it kind of goes with the color scheme too, with just a pop of color, you know? You just sometimes want a little bit of something to really bring in the design. But of course we also have our tassels, because I can't forget those. You guys have been seeing those cohesively throughout this collection. Gotta have the tassels. Pretty cool. I don't have a name for this one. I want you guys to name it. Suddenly the word tortoise comes into mind, but I don't really know. There's a lot of tortoising going on in here, so maybe something turtle related might be kind of cool. It's festive, right? Okay. Hydration break. Oh man, this is so good. That is what I call a Mai Tai. Okay, is everyone enjoying this party so far? I'm having a lot of fun. I'm loving showing you guys the collection and the designs for this. This is pretty fun. Okay, let's see. I have a bracelet. Now, what I've been showing you is a little bit technique heavy. I kind of demonstrated different ideas that were maybe a little bit more complex, but I wanted to kind of bring it down a little bit with this particular design and do something that is very, very wearable, very easy to make, and you could just make it in 5 minutes and be out the door. Very simple, but very effective. All right, so check this out. I really think that this is a cool design because it combines a few different components together, but really makes a very wearable design overall. So I'm using the silver silk, and this is the bronze, a vintage bronze capture chain, the pearlesque, excuse me. The reason I say pearlesque is, do you see that rainbow tint in there? And if you guys aren't familiar with silver silk, let me explain what it is. It's basically hairline thin copper wire that's been enameled with the color. And so what it is, it's just woven together. It's a pre-knitted wire cord that comes in 3-foot lengths as well as 25-foot lengths. And it's great because when you cut it, it doesn't fray, it doesn't tarnish, and it's so easy to work with, and it gives a really, really professional, really cool trend finish. And they also make their own custom end caps. So that's exactly what I used here. I'm using the vintage bronze, I believe is what this color is, from the Pearlesque line. If you want to check them out, their website is silversilkonline.com. And if you'll pan over to the bead here, this is from the hibiscus flower large bead mix. And what I did was I took that good old-fashioned vintage paint. Where did I put it? Oh, here it is. I took the vintage paint and all I did was just dab some in the middle. And I also put some on my tassel here. The tassel was originally silver, and that did not go with my design. So I'm going to change the color, use vintage paints. Pretty clever, huh? Also, what you'll notice is that some of their beads in these collections that they have online have large holes. This is perfect for the silver silk, okay? So you could really just kind of do a makeshift charm bracelet using some of their beads. So I just thought it was a really fun, clever, easy idea. Don't have a name for it. Leave it up to you guys. All right, there's a lot of naming to be done. Okay, showed you that one. Let's see. Let's look at some earrings, okay? Let's look at some earrings. Let me put them on the form. All right, you all can take a hydration break while I put some earrings on this form. Let's see. I'm particularly excited about these earrings because these are something different. I've not really done anything quite like this shape before. And I am using, oh gosh, there we go. I am using soft flex wire to make these lovely earrings. So what I love about these is that they are a minimalist shape, and I'm just using a couple beads. So again, why I love the Jesse James bead mixes is that you can get quite a bit of earrings just from just from innovation, as well as they pair up a lot of their decorative beads, and so makes it really easy just to, you know, design earrings on the fly. So what I did here was I'm using the gold, and I believe this is the medium gold soft flex wire, and all I did was I looped it 3 times into the same crimp. The first time I looped it, I picked up the green bead, and the second time I looped it, I went through the green bead again, and then the third time I looped it, I actually went opposite and looped it through the crimp up there. So really I was passing through it quite a few times, and I did use soft flex crimps specifically. They have a very thick wall. Their diameter inside is big enough to get this wire through, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, like, what is this, 6 times? Holy crap, that's a lot. That's a lot of passes that you can make through the same crimp. But I know whenever I crimped it, I really felt it, and so you know that's definitely a great crimp. And from what I understand, it doesn't tarnish either, because I've had some of these projects that I've crimped years ago, and they are still in amazing condition. So if you're out there, buy the wire, buy the crimps, they're amazing. So that's the design I have for this one. I don't have a name, but I really do love the shape, and I love this little tassel. It's not a tassel, I guess, a little dangle. That's it. We're gonna call it a dangle. That sounds good to me. All right. Okay. Oh, Sarah says it might be the point. You know what? I think you're right. I think it is a thinner one. That's still a lot of passes, though, you gotta admit, going through one crimp. So she is saying that I thought it might have been the medium size, but it is actually the fine. I do actually have a lot of fine in my personal stash of soft flex, and so I think I might have very well picked that up. So either way, if you can get the same shape, it's pretty freaking awesome, right? Okay. Let's look at this bracelet that I have. think we're approaching the end of this runway collection. Okay, now this one comes back to basics as well. We're seeing a bunch of crystals. What I wanted to bring to this one is the contrast between the shiny and the dull. And what's great about the Polynesian mix is that they have really shapes that are truer to the tribal tattoos. So if you can check this one out, but look at that. Goodness. The quality of that is just amazing. So I did pair that up with the shiny. I wanted to give a really interesting look and feel to this one. But it's also very heavily butterfly influence, which I am admitting that I am not a butterfly guy. Like, that's not really my aesthetic, but I did try and branch out and do something different for this particular one. And I think I did end up liking it quite a bit. The components themselves are pretty sweet. But check out this little charm. Sarah, you can help me out and tell them which one this came from. I think it came from the... I'm not finding it. I know it came from one of the Bora mixes, I believe. I think it came from one of the Bora mixes, but I think you can clarify. Again, I kind of just dumped everything out into one, and I got so excited because I wanted to pair stuff up together. But check that out. It's just, I just kind of added a little butterfly here and there using a head pin. Just a sweet little bracelet. Kind of gives a cool vintage look to it too, I think. So anyways, let me know what you think about this one. And again, I don't have a name, but of course I'm using butterflies, so maybe that might inspire something. All right, let's see what else I've got. I've got some earrings. We're sort of approaching the simplistic side of this collection. Oh, hey, Terry McNabb. Now, she's from Tulsa too. That's my friend from a long time from the bead community here, so it's good to have you on board, Terry. All right, check out these little earrings. Now this is so freaking easy because all you're doing is just taking these connector components, which I believe came from a packet. Let's see if I can find it. It might have come from a mix. A lot of these beads did come from the Bora Bora mix, so I will say that. So it might be a surprise to see which one you find it in. But check it out. All I've got is a few decorative beads and a tassel. And that was probably the quickest earring I have ever made. Super easy, but I love how eclectic it looks. And you know what? You could even go a step further and maybe you use beads and tassels on one of them. And using sort of the same size as a guideline, maybe use some different ones on the other earring, because I've seen some asymmetrical earrings. I'm not sure if I'm 100% sold on that idea. But it is very prevalent in the fashion scene and what the celebrities are sort of doing right now, especially in the music scene, with the asymmetrical earrings or even just the one earring. Now, I personally think that that's sort of a trend right now, and I don't know where it might go, but you can try it, of course. I wanted to do some symmetrical earrings, so that's what mine look like. Very blue, very oceany. So, but what I love about these connectors, I'm going to do a close-up. They have little flowers on them, which I thought was really cool because it does really celebrate the Polynesian theme, as well as this little turquoise bead. So again, you're seeing that flower theme everywhere. And you know what? Actually, I'm going to close in on this because it looks like a fern plant or something tropical, which I thought was kind of cool too. So anyways, let me know what you think about those. Okay, I think we're on to our last necklace. So let me put it on the dress form here. This one's kind of longer, actually, so I think I'm going to hold it up. Okay, guys, check this out. Whoa, now that says a party to me, okay? Look at that. Look how big this little guy is. I just thought he was so much fun to work with. Now, this particular guy is called, let's see if I can find him, the Cicada Carved Stone Bead Pendant. And trust me, I know about cicadas because I have like a whole harvest outside of my house, and I can hear them chirping at night too, so I know all about them. Them cicadas. Oh boy. So check it out though. Like I recycled some of my chain from the chain that we saw earlier. This was the blue turquoise chain. And I just took a link. This was not the messed up link, by the way, that I had scratched. I took a very fresh new one. And I used silver silk. This is the silver color pearlesque silver silk. And just strung it through there. And of course I finished off the end very professionally with their findings and just added a toggle there at the top. And I actually used beading wire. Now this is truly a multimedia piece, but you can kind of, you know, design it to your own liking. If you want to use chain on this whole thing, then you are more than able to, I think, with this particular design. I kind of I get bored of things, so I like to do mixed media quite a bit. But as you can see, I kind of looped beading wire through the top part, strung it all the way through, and finished out the end. The other beads came from the Hibiscus Flower Design Element Small Bead Mix. That's on the website for $8.99 for the small pack, which I thought was a really great price as well. I used the same link for the bottom to hang all of my little tassels and things off of. But I really love this guy. He came from the same hibiscus mix as well. This one came from the large bead mix, the Hibiscus Flower Large Bead Mix, and it's a leaf. So I thought that was really cool. And so this is fun, okay? So what I did was I cut up a couple pieces of this soft flex wire, and I just looped it. I didn't loop it, I'm sorry. I gathered them into a crimp tube there at the bottom, but not before stringing it through my chain, because you got to put the chain on there too. So I looped it through the chain and then passed it through the crimp and just crimped it at the bottom. I put a little decorative bead there at the end to kind of anchor it as well. But man, isn't that just fun? Just adds another texture to this design. So if you're in a Polynesian bead party like you are today, then just imagine. Oh, you can't see that. There we go. There we go. Just imagine wearing it. I thought it was a really fun, cool way to really show off this guy. So check that out on the website. I think it's really awesome. I think that's pretty. You know what? I have one more design. It's sort of a bonus, and it is not anything that we've looked at yet. So this is the last piece from the collection. It is a ring. Okay. Check that out. It is a cool ring. I love this little guy. Okay, he came from, let's see, where did he come from? Ooh, he came from the Hibiscus Flower Large Bead Mix. And all I did was I had a piece of wire that was about 8 inches, half hard, 20 gauge wire. I put a simple loop on one end, and then I strung it through the middle of that. And then all I did was just gather up the silver, this is the flat silver silk. They have 4 different lines. They've got the pearlesque, no, 5. They have 6 different lines. They have what's called Galaxy, which is the 6 millimeter diameter. Sorry, little brain fog there. It's a larger diameter cord. They have the flat, the round, the pearlesque, and the leather after that. And so all I did was just take the flat silver one, gather it up, and strung it onto the wire. And then I just used a ring mandrel to kind of loop it around that a couple times, and then just basically wire wrapped the rest of it there at the bottom. But you know, I made this ring in like 5 minutes, and so if you're looking for like a real novelty thing to wear to a party, or just in your daily lives, I don't really know. I mean, I wear all kinds of stuff anyway, so you could totally get on board with this, and I think it's just kind of a really fun. I might wear it the rest of this time actually, because it fits my ring, fits my hand. Here we go. Oh, drink break. What's it been? Almost an hour, and that thing is still refreshing, man. So good. Okay, so that was my entire collection, all of which is not named. So I want you guys, and for those of you who are just tuning in now, to go back, watch the video, figure out a really clever name for some of these designs, and yeah, just share them on the comments feed. I'm going to pick them out. I'm going to take them, picture all of the... I'm going to photograph all of these designs and put them onto the Facebook with the name that you guys have chosen. Don't forget, we have 2 contests, 2 beads, I can't even talk anymore, I'm so excited. We have 2 glasses full of beads, and we are trying to guess how many beads are in the blue mix and how many beads are in the pink mix. I haven't counted them yet. I'm going to count them after the show. But guys, we really need to get to the bottom of how many beads are in here, and then we're going to pick a winner, and that winner is going to get some beads. Okay, and then before I tune out and enjoy the rest of this party, if you all have any questions, leave them on the comments feed, and I will try to address them, because I'm going to go back and read all of these. But I wanted to give a little shout out to myself. I have a show on Facebook. It's called Beads and Bubbles. You all need to check it out. What I do is it's all about reviewing, tutorialing, showing, telling all beads. Of course, I will have a glass of champagne, and I expect my friends to have a drink of their own, whether it's champagne, wine, beer, water, LaCroix. You pick whatever you want to drink. Hydrate. Come and join me. We're working on a project next week, actually. It's going to be on Wednesday at, it's going to be 8 o'clock Eastern time, or 7 o'clock here in Tulsa. And we're going to make this design. Let me show you. Check this out. We're going to be making this. I only have 1 kit on my Etsy left, because I had like 15 and they all sold out. Well, 14 left. 14 had sold, so I've got one kit left. So I don't know who the lucky person will be, but if you buy the kit now, I could ship it out, and you guys can come and make it with me. So I'll be live. I'll be there to answer questions and teaching you through the whole process. So, anyways, come check it out. Like it, love it. Don't hate it though. All right. Listen, I hope you had a great evening. I just am elated that I got to show you this collection. I had a fabulous time, and I got to enjoy a Mai Tai and talk about some beads with you guys. So I will be back on Jesse James Beads probably next month. I'm sure I'll have some more projects going on. But until then, stay tuned. Like Jesse James Beads if you haven't already. And that's all I got. So, until next time, because I will see you later. Alright, happy Polynesian party. Y'all don't party too hard. I won't be drinking and driving at least, so because I'm at home. It'll be perfect. Alright, mwah. I love you all. See you later.